Welcome. I am Crime Queen, and if you are joining us for the first time, it's the channel where we have fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. This is where we actualize self love with the use of scriptural information from the Genesis of the King James Version in particular because of its mathematical structure. And of course, because we live in a world of maths, it's a world of numbers, I thought it would be very good. In fact, I felt um, really like more or less supposed to re-examine the things that I had learned and to see how they impact my life negatively, positively. But of course, that's because I felt that I was not really growing much from what I had learned. Of course, I have explored other avenues, but I noticed that there is the seed or the bedrock of this of or structure or construct is really still very much embedded in the Genesis, in the maths of the Bible, put it this way. So that I felt was very important. Somehow I could see Father Adam looking in the back, and it's like, yeah, tell them. I'm feeling very supported here, But this is Mother Eve, in case you are new to this channel, and we work with this sacrifice template. Let's have this S because the S keeps changing, and only now I really understand why this S keeps changing. 1 minute it was black, and then it has turned red. And now we have found out that Mother Eve is the snake, right? I keep saying it because I think it's going to be, although the woman has always been seen as the evil one, and the snake too is being seen as the evil creature, but to have the two connected together, I think it takes a lot of repetition to really sink in. Even for myself, who have encountered this very fact according to how the scripture has been written, how the scripture is written. It is Mother Eve. Now, what amazes me is that we learn things, and the story has been told in a certain way that, of course, it has taken root in every aspect of our being, makes it difficult to unpack the nature of what we have learned. And so and with that, we tend to not see the whole truth, if you like. And it just reminds me of a willow tree that I've just become very much acquainted with. So this willow tree looks kind of rotten at the trunk. It really looks, it's hollow, it's got this huge gap, but it happens to be the most loveliest tree that I have seen in a long time. So halfway off its trunk, it's able to regenerate its strength and really push its branches in such magnitude and height and stature. It is really beautiful, even with the leaflessness. I've never seen the word leaflessness, but you know, I am Mother Eve. Mother Eve is the one who says, let there be. She's the one who said, tell. The word let, so the word let equals let, it equals 10. Um, I have done this several times. Yeah, this is 325352. Okay, so which is and it's funny because this is my local bus route as well, the 352. 352? Yes, it's 352. So this is really there's always a thing. This is what I mean about numbers. Even certain bus numbers make you feel different to Perhaps you've never noticed that, but I have. Certain numbers of certain buses, do we ever think about it? Why do you choose one bus or number over the other when they're the same routes going the same way? Or what makes you choose that number? What feeling, what ignites you to do that? All right, it's just those things, and I have realized that how those numbers play out in my life. So we are talking about let. Mother Eve is the one who says let. Okay. Now trying to remember exactly where I was at. Okay, let's just Mother Eve is going to help us do exactly that. So, if you are new to this channel, of course, Mother Eve, and this, yes, we were talking about a template, I believe. So, it's the sacrifice template, and of course, we had the S. Mother Eve has turned dark again in her because she camouflages. She really does. And that's the thing. We are learning more and more. It's like a woman who changes her hairstyle every other week. That's Mother Eve. Okay. And she buys new shoes every other week because she's doing a new thing, whether even in her head or whether she packs them in the wardrobe, anticipating for that day she's going to wear them. All right. So there's just so much information on my discoveries, and of course, I need to really ask Spirit to help guide me with how to unpack this. Now, we're talking about Genesis and Mother Eve, that Eve is really the one who is the said God. She is the said God. She is the God who orchestrates the whole thing. So basically, for some reason, it's really funny. It's like she has let people have have a laugh. She has been laughed at. She has been laughed at because she has been um, seen evil and silly, and not only by well, by God, who was framed as God, just put it this way. And she, of course, have been cursed. Of course, now we know that no one can really curse Mother Eve. No, I don't think so. Because she is the serpent, okay, and she's also the one who she is the word. Now, to curse is really, it requires the word, it requires one to tell, or to let. Now, the word let is tell. It's synonymous with tell. Let and tell is really the same. So we're talking about word here. Now, of course, here when Mother Eve says let, for Mother Eve to say let, the word let, which equals 10, which is balance, has an active meaning to it as much as what do we call non-active, meaning subjective connotation to it. So the subjective connotation is really that she is the one who tells. She's she is the letter, the one who lets, and she's also the teller, the one who checks, like in a supermarket. That's wonderful. I think Mother Eve is the one who's just telling me to say this right now, to be very honest. So she's the letter and she's the teller, because those two words are really the same, synonymous. So she's a businesswoman. She's the major entrepreneur. She's, whoa, I mean, Oprah Winfrey has nothing on her. Now I'm beginning to think that Oprah Winfrey knows this stuff. She must do. A lot of people know they know this stuff, but never mind. We are getting to know it now. That's what matters. Okay, so there we have the word let, and its reverse is tell, T-E-L. So it is saying letter. Oh, R is not there, but it's still um, let and tell. Okay, so let and tell. Okay, letter and teller, I said were synonymous, so that is okay. But we see that they both are derivatives of let and tell. Okay, we want to just make sure we have this correct. Now, so back to Mother Eve is that she has allowed to be seen as the joke or the joker or the victim, and it really does make us see, even as female, how we have taken on that role of victimization in society. Oh my, that's what it is. We have taken on the very same pattern because nothing comes out of nothing, or basically the how we are, there is a seed, there is a pattern, there is a frame, hence it is said and God formed and God made and all of those aspects. So there is a pattern. It's like the water, we are water, but it has to be put in something to hold that shape of whatever it is. Hence the word, the number eight. The number eight is the one that seems to show some very distinct um, boundaries or settings. It's like saying you can't escape. you know, I've got you. But it's also the I when we do the numerical value for the word I. Okay, so I'm just feeling a need like warming up, but so we're talking about Genesis, Mother Eve, which is the God said. She's the God who said this and said that. And of course, now, as I say, it's funny because um, she has been seen as evil and not saying anything. It's like saying, oh, you guys can talk, but when I'm ready, I'll do my talking. Because I'm the word anyway, because in the beginning was the word, and Mother Eve is really the word. This is where we see Mother Eve is the word. Actually, the said God here, let's put it in context. The said God here is the word God right there. But we understand that the said God is also the Mother Eve, which is number five. So who is also, I said the said God, who is the word God, and Mother Eve is the evening. That's not what I was going to say, but that's what's coming now. Okay, so and Mother Eve is also the said God. I'm repeating myself here, and it's the serpent. So when we see the S in actual fact, wherever we see the S like said, like serpent or snake or snaky, whatever of those things you want to see, that is Mother God in action, be doing her slippery thing. She is doing her slippery thing. And she stings whoever it is when she's ready and she moves on. So people don't even get a chance to see her, really. Okay. So she had 8 entries. Now, as I've said, that with these 8 entries, they derive from the nine gods in Genesis. Nine gods in Genesis, of course, including the said God. The said God is the first God that we are really dealing with right now, which is Mother Eve, and has this eight entrance of the word let. So we see there is consistency with the hair, these letters, but we are also um, deconstructing, if you like, the eighth entry, which is where we really want to explore. Now, for us to do that, I think it is important that we familiarize ourselves with a lot of the words that hold a numerical value of numerical vibration as Mother Eve, particularly as the mouth. So we're looking at the mouth that equals 23. This is where we learn that Eve ate of the fruit. Okay, so I know there is a lot more to explore with number five, but let me just give you a few words that I have to really explain how Mother Eve is really the divine feminine, and that really coincides with the mouth hair and really knows everything. The nose, she calls us to the nose to cross the bridge, which would be like crossing the Red Sea for the children of Israel. So basically, they would have gone to the mouth of the ocean, if you like, and they would have to cross the sea. So all of this here is like, and the sea also, I sea, sea is seven. So they would have to, of course, when you cross, it's like you sever. There's a degree, demarcation that you have moved on to another dimension. So for number 23, we have the uterus is number 23 when we do the numerical value for that. What I will do is have a list of words that is so essential um, for this subject, and then to so one can make reference to it, of course. So the kundalini, as I say, is number 41. 4 plus 1 is 5. The mouth, we have done that, is 23. We have just spoken about. When we say her, as in gender, or making a well, like specification of someone, that is 23. The king is 5, and the queen, of course. So we have king and queen would be here. So queen is 8 and king is 5. So in this aspect, the king that we have known for masculine is really portraying the mouth. It's no wonder he wears a big robe. So that's another thing we will see as we go along, that the people who have taken on the robe, the long robes, um, are portraying Mother Eve. And I think that also goes for um, the Jews, the word Jews as well, 12 or 13. Okay. Um, thermometer is 50, so that's 5. So that is about temperature. So we see that that is Mother Eve. The wind is Eve, 23. Waters is 23. Yellow, which I will be doing a presentation on, yellow, black. I'm going to continue on that, yellow, black, and white. I'm going to continue these presentations there. So yellow is 20 is 32. No, well, I had yellow as 11. So I think there is a mistake on that, because I have counted yellow as 11. Okay. So melanin, that's really important. I'm going to do another presentation on that. So look out for that if you see melanin in hidden numbers, I think I'm going to call them. And So that's 32, and Christ is 32. So what we found out as well, Sophia, the robot, is also 32. So we can see where they're going with that. Um, Breathe is 32. That's another thing. And infinite is 5. And intuitive is 5. Cleans is 23. Now I've just given you a few of these words, particularly with the uterus, is matching exactly that of the mouth. Isn't it amazing? So that is really saying, of course, that the power of speech that the feminine or the divine feminine has have got. We've got the word. We are the one to tell, and this is why I am telling even right now. So I am doing the work of my mother, like Christ would say, I do what the Father does. But in that sense, Christ was talking about number 31, which is about the West, which is about the night. So this is another thing where we say we need to be talking about how the numbers, knowing the words, of course, Father there in that sense is the same place where Eve evens out in the west, because Eve goes on that parallel. She evens, so she's on that spectrum as well. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I hope you have just found this somewhat intriguing to some extent, at least. So, if you like this, click the like button and share, because this is how we do it. We share to actualizing self-full love. Stay bliss filled. And if you haven't heard the word before, be a field. That means you're full of bliss. To actualizing self-full love. And of course, being bliss filled, we are planting new seeds in that blissfulness. So that's what we're about. Okay, thank you.